It's time for the Miller's Edge with New York Giants legend and South Carolina Hall of Famer Corey Miller and his son, four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Knocked down again. Where's Christian Miller?
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
Right? Guess what? This game ain't about that. All right? This game is about us. All right? And us only. I said this the other day. All right? It's not about what they do. All right? It's about what we do.
There you have it. Welcome into this Talking Tuesday. Big thanks to Ty Simpson right there. That was a little snippet from his pregame speech ahead of that Georgia game this past Saturday. A lot of people think he sounds very similar to Chase. They think he sounds like a guy that spent years here that was responsible for a number of national championship games. I wonder why. It's almost like he learned from his former coach, man. Now, all seriousness, though, that type of leadership, that fires me up, man. That's reminiscent of just kind of, the sounds of what I used to hear being in the locker room. But it's kind of interesting, though, hearing it from him. Normally, I have a bunch of coaches. I'm sure you guys have seen the snippets of Coach Saban, Kirby, all those guys. But to hear Ty kind of taking on that role, man, he said, look, we need somebody to step up and be that guy, that vocal leader. And maybe they don't have the same guys on staff, right? Or, this just culture's a little bit different. But he said, I'm gonna put it all in my hands. But anyway, thought that was pretty cool to start with. That being said, it is a Talking Tuesday. We're going to talk a lot. I definitely look forward to talking with you guys. You guys are in that co-host chair if you guys would like, meaning call in. We could talk about whatever. If you guys see the title on the YouTube stream, again, we do stream every day live at the Miller's Edge. Check us out if you guys want to watch us do the show here. Completely free. But again, make sure you guys at least check it out if you want to see the breakdowns and stuff, because obviously you have to watch for that. But anyways, if you're on radio, good deal, man. Always appreciate all our radio listeners as well, because that's where we primarily base. That being said, the title is Alabama Vanderbilt early preview. So we are going to start to look ahead towards Vandy. Again, they will travel to Tuscaloosa this weekend. College game day coming here, Chase. A lot of people thought it would have been the Florida-Miami game and things this weekend. But with Florida not looking too hot, they obviously changed course and said, hey, why not go to Tuscaloosa, where it's technically a revenge game for the Crimson Tide, coming off a big victory over Georgia and facing the team that really kind of set in motion some of the trials from last year. The Vanderbilt Commodores, undefeated team, led by a fiery quarterback in Diego Pavia, who does not lack an ounce of confidence, man. This guy's going to be ready to play. And we're going to talk about him and his team, what they've been doing, what they've been doing well, and what this matchup can look like. But again, we got all week, so going to pace ourselves. But we'll do a little bit of an early preview on this matchup, because I definitely have some general thoughts going into this game as of now. I've watched them a little bit. I watched their most recent game against Utah State. I need to go back and watch some more of the South Carolina Vandy game as well. So again, I'll keep breaking down this game, this matchup, previews, all that stuff throughout the course of the week. I know we also need to get back to some of the interviews that we missed yesterday. Spent a lot of time talking about the Georgia game, and also talking with you guys. So we need to go back and hear from head coach Kalen DeBoer, who spoke to the media yesterday. We did not hear from the coordinators, but I would love to at least get to some of that. I know we talked a lot about the defense. I'm very curious to hear what Kane Womack had to say during his press conference, so I definitely want to get to that. Try to get to some of Ryan Grubb as well. Maybe what we'll do is, while we're playing, Chase, I think we should do this. While we're playing head coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference, we can try to at least cut up or find exactly what we want from the coordinators. That way we can trim down some of that interview, and then we have plenty of time to talk with everybody else. So we'll probably anticipate doing that. That being said, that's kind of what's on tap. Plus, me and Chase were talking about this before the break, because I know it's been gaining some attention. I know it's probably ruffled a couple people, and I didn't really think too much of it initially, but I guess it is kind of interesting to see this now. But there's going to be a special visitor in town. Now, I don't know who they chose for guest picker. I don't think he has anything to do with that. But allegedly, there's going to be a former quarterback in town for this game, and he's not a former Alabama quarterback. He's not a former Vanderbilt quarterback. He's actually a former Texas A&M Aggie. That's none other than Johnny Manziel. He will be attending this game. And not only will he be attending the game, he will be attending my buddy's new bar that was opened up, Two Dimes. Great venue, by the way. A lot of cool stuff down there. But allegedly, he'll be attending the game alongside he will be attending the game, but he'll be attending the bar alongside, is it Colby Covington, Chase, I think, who was a UFC fighter who's friends with my buddies that opened the place up. But I guess Johnny Manziel is making his way to Tuscaloosa for this game, and he actually is going to be on the sideline. And not only that, not on our sideline, but on Vanderbilt's sideline. But even to take a step further, he plans on wearing a Diego Pavia jersey, right? So, Chase, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if this is like a troll. I don't know if it was a bet that they had. I don't know, Chase. I mean, what have you gathered from this whole thing? I mean, is it not kind of random that he's coming to Tuscaloosa to support? I mean, I understand maybe him being a fan of Pavia, right? I think maybe they probably have a relationship, but the whole showing up on the sideline, wearing the jersey, I mean, it almost seems like it's like a troll move, right?
Christian, you said it well, man. It's good to see you. But honestly, I think it's corny. What does Johnny have to do with, like, I'm a very calm person, but this kind of riled up too. Like, what are you doing in Tuscaloosa, respectfully? Like, you have no ties to either school. You went to A&M. Now, if I'm not mistaken, A&M is playing somebody. So why are you not there? I know he goes on nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, but I just don't understand it. Now, if Bama wins, you better not step foot in Tuscaloosa ever again, because the way they're going to clown him for supporting somebody that I don't understand it. I know Vanderbilt is hot right now. They're looking really good right now, especially beating South Carolina a couple weeks ago. But you're risking a lot, and Vandy doesn't need that traction right now because they already have targets on their back for all the talking they've been doing these past couple of weeks. So you add somebody like John Manziel, who is known for being a trash talker, who is known to speak his mind, who doesn't care. He beats the drum to his own beat. It's just interesting to me, Christian. And then I'm hearing, like you just said, you confirmed that he's going to be at a club the day before that. Like, what are you doing? Like, that is what?
well, here's the thing. Obviously, me and you have we've gone to Two Dimes again. Great venue. We went and watched the boxing match
Very
there.
great venue.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. They did a really nice job with everything after redoing it again. It used to be Druid City Music Hall, but here's one thing because I know a lot of people, the bar itself was catching flack for hosting him or having him, but I'll just say this, man. They're interested in entertainment, right? And it has nothing to do with, I know he's an op, right? He not only had come to Tuscaloosa and beat us. That was the first game I ever attended here in Tuscaloosa, actually. But obviously he's going to be on that sideline. So I get like the frustration, but to be clear, I mean, Colby Covington, the UFC fighter, he's also going to be here. They host a number of people, right? I mean, literally, whether they're musicians coming to entertain or even just people just coming to check it out, because it is a really cool venue. So I wouldn't take it too personal, right? Again, I know the guys that own it. So, I mean, they're good people, man. They are Alabama through and through. But they also like entertaining people and hosting people and showing people, Tuscaloosa and obviously the new venue that they just opened up. So that's really what that is. I don't think it's anything crazy. If anything, I think it's kind of when I say cool, I mean, like, hell, I mean, if people want to, jar a little bit, now, hopefully not, when alcohol and stuff mixes, I hope it doesn't get like out of hand, but people want to talk some smack or whatever, debate, cool. To me, I like welcome stuff like that. I think it's fun as long as it's controlled and people aren't, whatever. But at the end of the day, there could be worse people, I guess. Like, I know people aren't big fans of him because, I mean, look, he shredded us when he was at Texas A&M. But, I mean, there could be worse people. I mean, like, literally, imagine if it was like, now, if it was Cam Newton, right, I have no problem with Cam Newton. Hell, he's my teammate. And honestly, one of the coolest teammates I've ever had. But I could understand people a little more frustrated, too, because, Auburn guy, everything with him and the university. I mean, I could get that would be a little crazy if they were hosting Cam, even though I wouldn't even think it was that crazy. Because again, I think it's a form of entertainment. Again, it allows people to they want to jar back and forth with them, that's fun. Cam would welcome that too. So I feel like it's similar with this, but not even on that same level. But here's Johnny. Here's a quick little clip before we hit our first time out of him discussing being on the sideline and I guess how this whole thing came to fruition.
They got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, this is not your father's and grandfather's Vanderbilt.
I went to dinner with Diego Pavia tonight. They hungry. And guess what? I'm going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Saturday, and I'm on the Vandy sideline.
Oh,
I'm in a Pavia jersey.
Ooh, yeah. Because Alabama say we owe y'all after what y'all did to us last year. We owe y'all big time.
It on is what them boys are saying.
I mean, so he is talking that talk. It's interesting. Part of me, though, really feels like this is almost a way for and I'm not saying this like, oh, like I'm some dude in the spotlight. No, but it almost feels like he's kind of trying to ride the spotlight, right? Him going to this game for Pavia. Like, I'm sure they're cool and they have a relationship, but it also, look at all the attention is bringing on him just by him attending. I'm sure part of it's calculated too, which again, I mean, hey, he's trying to do media, he's doing media now. He's is he just a guest on Nightcap now, Chase, or is he doing it pretty frequently? I know he's been on there a number of times. I don't think he's like full time, but anyway, I don't know. Maybe we need to get him on the show. Maybe we need to reach out and see if he'll hop on here and I don't know, explain his move and at least give his thoughts on the game. He's clearly very confident. He said, Pavia said those guys are hungry, which I mean, I don't know how you don't understand that. Our guys are pretty damn hungry too, given how last year went, right? How week one went, and they know what it feels like to be ridiculed in the media. It's going to be a good one, man. And we're going to talk about it. But first, we got to take a time out. When we come back, we'll break some stuff down, take a little bit of an early preview on this Vanderbilt matchup. But first, we actually need to go to head coach Kalen DeBoer. So we'll hear from him, listen to his press conference from yesterday, where he does preview the Commodores, also give some updates on the team, thoughts on last game, obviously. But we definitely need to touch on some of those injuries because I do think they can have an impact not only in this game but moving forward, and we'll discuss how it may look moving forward to try to, I guess, make up for some of that stuff. So all that coming up right here on this Talking Tuesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll be right back.
At Tuscaloosa Mazda, they are expanding their showroom to serve you better.
What's up, guys? Who's all in here, man? If you guys haven't, man, go ahead and drop that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get it out the way. Here we go. Jake, what's up, man? Bam Bam, what's going on? Mike, my guy. Dang, that's a first, man. First time I said drop the like and nobody left, man. Oh, man, that's funny. All right, this week's game is all about defense. I really don't see Vandy stopping our offense. I think defense need to continue getting turnovers like they had the last two games and limit Vandy's opportunities. I think you're spot on, man. You know, just watching them, passing defense has been a struggle for them. They've done a pretty good job stopping the run. I will say that. Ironically, we're not really running the ball like that anyway. I know we'll definitely try to because it still sets stuff up. You know, even if you're not even if you're not hitting on it as much as you like, I think it's still important to at least present that to a defense, which we've been doing. But the fact is, I think we've been so hot offensively through the air that a struggling pass defense of Vanderbilt, I just don't see how they keep up with us. So even if you do say, all right, you get into a shootout, knowing that their offense probably will present a handful of challenges for our defense, I would put my money on Ty Simpson and our receiving core any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Now, I don't think it'll be like that type of shootout. It definitely could be one of those games where it's back and forth, just knowing Pavia, that option-based attack, right? You're talking about both our starting outside backers are out, if you consider Latham, who was technically a starter, and now you're rolling with Justin Hill and Yanze Pierre, who Yanze Pierre has been playing some good football, but initially he was more of like that definite third down guy, but not so much first and second down, which now he's been bumped into that role with injuries, and now he's very much in that role because you don't even have the depth to really worry about subbing him like that. Which he's, probably not your best run defender that you have, just being completely honest with you. So I will be honest, that does kind of concern me in a matchup like this, knowing how important that Wolf and those outside backers are in stopping an option-based attack. Does that make me worry that we're going to lose the game? No. But I think it definitely could create some advantages for Vanderbilt 1,000%. Dwight, what's up? Superfly, what's going on, brother? Vanderbilt secondaries look terrible, and they really haven't played a good quarterback or wide receiver team yet. Absolutely, yeah. They struggle in pass defense. I think they're 76th in the country in pass defense. So I definitely expect us to light it up through the air. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how they try to protect them, from that. I mean, I wonder if they're going to just drop a bunch of guys, or it'd be interesting. Yakenji, what's up? They're trying to use all the mojo that they can. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, they had like I show speed at one of their practices. I think they're one of those teams where I don't know. If it brings energy to the team, I think they're with it. And I think they look at this no different. Johnny helps kind of bring some excitement to them, some motivation maybe. And I think that's kind of where they're going with it. Let's get this pulled up though. Sorry, we didn't get to hear from Coach DeBoer yesterday, so I definitely just want to catch back up on that. Vandy's most definitely gonna lose now. We should counter with some legends on the sideline. I'm sure there'll be some former guys on the sideline. From, what's up? Bring back the entire 2013 D-line. The last offensive head coach to win the SEC title was Gus in 2013. Before that, it was Irvin. I like Kalen DeBoer, but he's going to have to prove consistency. Defense and running game travels. Bama doesn't do either. That's a great point, Todd. That's just the one thing, man. We just gotta find a way to stop. I would say, obviously, I agree with you. I want to run the ball better, and we need it. It's not even a question. We need to stop the run much better. But if I had to pick at least one, I think the running game will eventually start coming along, and they're at least showing that they're trying to get to it. It's not like they're completely giving up on it. I mean, we had a number of attempts from the backs, 20-something plus. It's just you got to find a way to get it to hit, which I think it will, especially with our passing game being so effective. I mean, you kind of, there's other ways you can get to running the football. I mean, especially when you're threatening with the pass. I know it's always taught about backwards, or the other way I should say, which is true. But hell, you look at Tennessee and how they spread people out. They just go inside zone with a light box, and they're able to have a lot of success on the ground, right? I mean, so maybe try some stuff like that and spread everybody out. Then they're so worried about the threat of our receivers. You know what I mean? Like maybe you find ways to run the football effectively like that. I wouldn't be mad at them trying some stuff. Just, try some stuff that's a little bit different if you have to. Which I think that will come, especially with our offensive line play picking up. But running defense, man, rushing defense is just giving up 200 yards plus on the ground consistently to quality opponents like Florida State and Georgia. At some point, I'm telling you, it doesn't get you until it gets you, right? And at some point, it will.
Zero.
Most teams that run like that, I mean, you typically win football games when you have that ability. And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of Miller's Edge, Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, so I'm just reading some more of these comments about the whole Manziel thing. Patrick says Manziel is a punk. Hey, you guys really don't like him, man. Tia said, what would Johnny Manziel be without Alabama? I mean, I guess him beating Alabama definitely gave him that big boost. But, I mean, we are talking about a Heisman Trophy winner, to be fair, right? Which a lot of that, again, did come from beating big, bad Alabama. But I will say this, man. I get, pro stuff didn't really pan out for him, but can't deny in college, man, I mean, the dude was insane. I mean, again, I watched him in person here in Tuscaloosa and just watching him. I mean, he was like a magician at quarterback, and we've all heard his off-field struggles. I mean, I'd argue if maybe he had his head on straight, maybe things might have worked out a little bit better for him long term. But nonetheless, man, I always give credit where it's due. And I know he might be a little distasteful and annoying and whatever, you know, people might feel about him, but there's no denying it. When it came to playing quarterback at the college level, I mean, he was insane. Chase, were you watching a bunch of Manziel when he was playing in college? I know you're a little bit younger than me, so I was in high school. So you might have been in middle school, man. Do you remember watching him at A&M?
Man, do I? Man, he was just on highlight tapes over and over on my YouTube feed. You know, just him scrambling from sideline to sideline, breaking ankles. You know, I think when A&M hosted Bama that one year, and he just was running around like tag and just threw it up in the air and just made a first down. I was like, that's insane. So I do agree with you 100%, Christian. You know, he is a Heisman winner. You know, if things would have turned out a little bit better off the field issues, probably it's a different career. So, you know, he has his accolades. But yeah, he was a monster at A&M.
Yeah, he was. No, he definitely was. And look, man, again, I mean, he kind of set the tone for. Look, I'll be honest. I mean, like Coach Saban literally told me when he was recruiting me, a 195-pound outside linebacker, we're recruiting you because you're, you know, a lengthy, athletic guy to stop quarterbacks like Johnny Manziel. So I guess I kind of need to tell him thank you, because maybe if it wasn't for him shredding Alabama's defense in 12 and 13, I might not have been recruited here. They might have just said, "Oh, we'll stick with all our 265-pound outside backers." So I actually probably should tell him thank you, because he might be one of the reasons that Coach Saban looked in the direction of a tall, skinny outside linebacker from Columbia, South Carolina. So thanks for that. Real quick, this last comment on it. He says, what about Manziel going to this club? It's about the stupidest crap, I'll say, that he's going to be talking before the game, being on Vanderbilt sidelines. That turd is a punk, plain and simple. Like I said, guys, I think it's more so entertainment. If anything, I actually think that's, to me, like, I would like if they did bring, not just them, but anybody, you know, opposing figures from other schools. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's like somebody has said, I think in the chat, like, makes like a great like storyline or something. Just kind of, I feel like, brings some more entertainment to it. Like, so like if you had, I don't know, who are some more figures that I don't know. Who do we even play after Vanderbilt? Is it Missouri? I think we go to Missouri. Regardless, I don't even know who you'd use from there. But anyway, I think it could be good entertainment value. But that being said, let's do this because we're already at 11:30, man. We're rolling. How should we do this, Chase? Should we go ahead and let's do this? Let's go ahead and hit this break to stay on track. I know we got QD on the phone line, so what we'll do is we'll go to the phone lines when we come back, because I want to make sure we get people on. I know they got stuff to do. So we'll hit our quick timeout to stay on schedule, go to the phone lines, then we'll make sure we hear from head coach Kalen DeBoer, break down this Vanderbilt matchup. We got plenty of time, give you guys a sneak peek on my initial thoughts, and we'll keep on rolling. But again, make sure you guys check us out on YouTube during the breaks. I do interact and talk during the chat, or with the chat, excuse me, so I can answer questions on here during our timeouts as well. So again, that's at the Miller's Edge on YouTube, completely free. Come check us out. All right, quick timeout. We keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hunter said, bro, Johnny was unreal at A&M. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, he was insane, man. He was insane. Johnny and Tavon Austin might have the best highlight tapes out there, for sure. And then, I don't know if you guys remember this. Some of you might. There's this kid named Cody Paul. I think he was like a park ball highlight tape. But I feel like he had one of the most famous football highlight tapes. And it was just like little short guy that was like wearing number 5. He was like a little Mighty Mouse guy, like on a park ball team. But he looked like Reggie Bush out there. They called him like White Reggie Bush, but he was like probably 11 years old. Dwight said, I see Slade's not back from Italy. Yeah, no, I think he's still over there, so I don't know if we'll be able to get him on today. But my dad might jump on. I know Tuesdays have been one of those days he's been jumping on here. Pavia can make throws that will challenge our secondary. Yeah, 100%. And that's why this game is going to be tough, man, from just trying to stop their scheme, and then the fact that he operates it so effectively. And again, it's got a lot of option-based elements. So you talk about being disciplined, a lot of disciplined football that you have to play defensively, knowing who's responsible for what, right? Keeping good eye discipline and not trying to chase things, right? Doing your job. But then the added element that they also throw the football and they can get to it from those, RPO/option looks, or they got the gun that they'll just throw as well. And he can make those throws. But it's tough for backers, especially in these types of games, because especially when we're talking about RPO type actions, man, you got stuff behind you. So I mean, initially your keys are telling you run, you see pass, and like last second, and you already got slants and trying to close windows behind you, man. It's tough to defend. It's very tough. And I hope we don't Lord God, I pray we take a timeout from the mugs on first and second down. Please save that for third and long when you're running pressures and doing things. I swear to God, man. This is not the game to be trying to mug guys up front on first and second down. Please, 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 Coach Womack, please. Let's take a break from that. What else do we have here? Let me see. Hit that. Last time Vandy player called out Bama saying you're next, it did not end well. That's true. While that's true, I feel like we joked about that a little bit last year. Then we saw the outcome. So, but you're right. That guy, that was bulletin board material, man. Matter of fact, this is what he's talking about. All you got to do is type in Bama, you're next on YouTube, and it comes right up. Wonder what that guy's doing now.
When you come to our house, we show you how to play some SEC ball. It don't matter where you're from. You're going to know what ball we play. Alabama, you're next.
I'm not sure I know what ball you play, brother.
But theoretically, we are next on the schedule.
1 week later.
And an impressive opening road victory for Alabama.
Yeah, so we know how that went. But, yeah, I don't know if I know what he's talking about. All right, here we go. And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Try before you buy, nothing to lose. Make sure you guys go check them out, Midtown Village, where you find them. Again, they are responsible for those premium art sports designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you name it. They will take care of it. Again, walk-ins are welcome. Just go head on over in there. And they've got all types of stuff. They've got shoes in there. They've got foot massagers while you're waiting. I mean, it's incredible. First-class customer service. And if you're not around here, don't worry. Go to their website, goodfeet.com. You can schedule an appointment, find the nearest location to you. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. All right, so we were talking a little Vanderbilt during the break here with our YouTube stream, and I'll definitely dive back into that. Just some early thoughts on it, maybe take a look at some of their personnel and talk about that. But first, let's go to the phone line. Stay on schedule. We got QD up first. QD, welcome in.
What's up, Christian?
Man, I can't call it, brother. How's everything?
It's good, man. Everything's good. Just lifing over here, man. Been a minute since I've been able to call in, but I listen, man. I'll be on the YouTube channel, man. But I had to call in. You know, it's Georgia week, man.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. What'd you think, QD?
I got 2 words for you, man.
What's that?
Kane Womack.
Oh man. What about it? Come on, man. Come on. Wait, look, everything in that game. Come on, man. Come on, QD.
Oh, hold on, Chris. Hold on, man. Last year I had 2 words for you. It was Nick Sheridan. Now my bullseye has moved on to the defensive side of the ball. This man, Kane Womack, is going to cost us our dreams and aspirations, Christian, if he don't get his ass together. Now, every person that knows ball, defensive ball, from yourself, Ryan Anderson, Roman Harper, your dad, so on and so on, has called out this man's crazy schemes and antics as a defensive coordinator, mugging inside linebackers, getting our secondary in crazy positions. Look, have you seen the video shot? Even DeBoer asking him what the hell happened on that first drive.
Yeah, I
And
saw
then they showed
that.
and they showed Mo Link was walking by looking at Kane like, man, what is wrong? What are you doing?
Yeah, well,
Bro,
he was probably frustrated because he felt that the secondary got put in a tough spot, which they did. I mean, again, Georgia picked up a first down, and we went like a 0 blitz right there, 1st and 10. And it's funny. I rewatched parts of the game today, and when I came across that play, not only was it, I get being aggressive at times, element of surprise maybe, but here's the problem: there was no element of surprise. We literally lined up in that look, like everybody was crowded on the line of scrimmage. And so it's like whether Georgia checked something or whatever, or even if they just had a play in there, but they just knew they had a shot on the outside, a quarterback knows immediately, okay, I got cover 0. I'm taking the shot right here. And that's a tough spot for a guy. I know people jumped on Damani Jackson, which, again, he was playing corner there, but he got hit with a double move. And when you're in 0 like that, he's man on an island by himself, and he knows the pressure's coming hot. So typically, as a DB, you're expecting the ball to come hot, right? Because it's cover 0. You're blitzing the whole gang. Everybody's going after the quarterback. So they're trained like, okay, ball's coming out hot. So that double move was honestly a really good call. Like, to counter that blitz right there is tough. And that's why you go and say, well, number one, why would we do a 0 blitz right there? I think they're on like the 11-yard line or something. It's kind of random. Maybe they thought they're going to go quick and just run the football. But 2, like, maybe not just sit there and just like everybody crowd the line of scrimmage and you're showing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that one was, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty bad. I agree with you.
And then had the nerve to say, my bad. People pay millions of dollars, man. This is serious business here.
Wait, when did you say
my
that?
Bad. Oh, yeah, he said that. He's like, oh, that's on me. My bad.
Wait, you read his lips or he's like, in the press conference?
Yes, man. Yes, no. On the actual, he actually said that's on me. My bad.
Oh, so you're talking about you read his lips during the broadcast?
Yes, man.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
man. Look,
well, like I said, yeah, go ahead.
What's his daddy on the sideline? I want his daddy on the sideline.
Wait, you want
he needs to be consulted with his daddy? Yes. Apparently, our defense plays better when his dad's there helping him call the defense. Get daddy back to help you, Kane. Kane.
You
ever seen Minister Society? You ever seen Minister Society?
Yes.
It's the old, Kane. That's what I think about. You know that scene with his daddy. You know that scene with his daddy, shot old boy. And he was calling his son, Kane. Whenever our defense gets on the field, that's how I feel. Kane.
Oh my gosh, man! Cut it out, Kitty.
Look, man,
Cut it out, man.
I'm just being real, man. This dude, man. And looking, all you sunshine pumpers out there, well, last year we had the lowest point per game total under Kane since 2017. Stop it. Stop it. We ain't stopped running. I mean, their defensive coordinator, man.
Fair, but I mean, to be fair, like, I give credit where it's due. That we there are some things that we have done and we do well, but to me, again, I'm always, and maybe it's just the way I'm wired. Maybe it's from Coach Saban. I don't know, but my attention goes directly to what we're not doing well and what needs to be better. I've always been like that, even with myself. And so, even though I was, and that's why I said, like, everybody the whole offseason kept throwing out those stats, because again, with all due respect, a lot of people that don't watch the game like that, they're just reading numbers, right? They just go, oh, well, Alabama was the best defense since, best this. And I'm like, I see the numbers and I respect them, but when you watch the tape, there's also a lot of things that we're not doing great and that needs to be better. Like, even right now, if you look at, I think we're like doing really well with the numbers game in terms of pass defense, which is fair. But again, when I watch the tape, there's still things that I'm like, all right, if we don't clean that up, we will get exposed down the road. So I'm with you.
Christian. We're talking about Alabama. There are
100%.
16 teams in the there are 16 teams in the Southeastern Conference. Alabama is ranked 14th in rush defense. If we don't improve, bro, I'm ecstatic about the Georgia win.
Right.
You know, because I was telling people, if DeBoer don't win this game, he's gonna lose the whole fan base. Even the Sunshine Pumpers are gonna be like, wait, we may have hired the wrong guy. So I was glad that he won that game. I felt good for him. I felt good for the team, really, because they've been taking it since the Florida State game. But, bro, we cannot get to our dreams and aspirations being 14th in the league against rush defense, bro.
No, you're right. It only gets you when it gets you. I agree 100%. That's got to get better. There's no doubt about it.
I'm gonna say 2 words to you. How we are on defense. We're real Pac-12ish. Real Pac-12ish, bro. I mean, the numbers are what they are, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real, bro. And this guy, look, man, I don't know if Mo got to start calling the defense. I don't know if Chuck Morrell got to step in. Man, something got to be done, bro. Because I just, we're going to beat Vandy. We're going to beat Vandy, bro. But we're going to give us some rushing yards again, bro.
Oh, for sure.
The good rushing teams, the two teams we played, bro, that are quality opponents have both rushed for over 200 yards against us. We can't sustain like that, bro.
Yeah, no,
that's all I got, bro.
I agree. I agree, and I'm not gonna lie too. It's a blessing that we have such an explosive offense. Because if not, brother, it definitely would be even bigger of an issue. Obviously, it is a big issue, but that's kind of helping us out right now. If I'm being honest with you, and then not only that, but one other thing that definitely is maybe not being mentioned enough is the fact that even though we are explosive, we actually are very sustainable in terms of our drives, and that's been big. Like, look at the time of possession against Georgia. We dominated them in the time of possession, even being more of a pass-heavy offense, right? More explosive. It's different than the explosive that we saw, with Milroe in the last couple of years. That was more kind of like deep shots, not really having those long, sustainable drives. Right now with Ryan Grubb and the way they're playing, even though they're throwing the ball a good bit, the drives are much more sustainable, and so that's why it's helping kind of counter some of that stuff. But yeah, no, I'm with you, brother. We got to get it cleaned up, and hopefully they find a way. It's not only it's Vanderbilt, but I want to say Missouri actually is running the ball even better than them too. I think. They might be like top. They might be top 5.
That game scared me. That Amari Hardy, bro, he's a patch. He breaks tackles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to get cleaned up.
Hey,
QD, I appreciate you, man. Good to hear from you, brother.
Already, man. Take it easy,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide. Good deal. All right, quick timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling right here on this Talking Tuesday. This is the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Here's that stat that I was going to say. Ahmad Hardy, who is Missouri's running back, who I'm pretty sure that's who we got after Vanderbilt, but he's leading leading the country in rushing yards. And then let's go to rushing offense. Yep, Missouri number 3 in the country, averaging 292 yards per game on the ground, which is insane. And you see who's number 2 right there too. You got Florida State. So definitely got to clean up that rushing defense. Trying to see who else might be on there. Vanderbilt's 18th nationally. And then who else do we have? We just played Georgia, who's the 26th. I guess Tennessee would be the next one up there, who we also play pretty soon. So just something to think about, man. Something to think about, man. You gotta find out how to stop the run, because I'm telling you, it only gets you till it gets you. Let's see. Oh no, that was our guy QD, man. He I let people roll because again, it's Talking Tuesday, man. So I let people talk, especially guys that Been long-time listeners. Maybe I hadn't heard from in a while. Can we get Pruitt to stay on the sidelines? No, that ain't happening. Biggest issue with our rushing offense, offensive line. It's not the running backs. It's just execution. That's all it is. It's not the backs. It's the execution. Man, the execution just got to be better, man. Honestly, who in the SEC has a shutdown defense? I'm seeing the same with everyone with defensive problems. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, in terms of overall, I mean, let's pull up the stats. I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure, I mean, LSU was looking pretty damn good initially, but I know they obviously just went and dropped to Ole Miss. But let's see. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Like all around defense. I was about to say Oklahoma comes to mind. They look good. Let's see. All right, here's the stats for the conference. In terms of scoring defense, Oklahoma is second and LSU is third. So I at least got those two right. Texas would be number one. I'm tripping. Texas definitely looks good. So Texas, Oklahoma, LSU are those. Missouri's got the number 4 scoring defense right now. We come in at 7. Let's see. Specifically against the run, Texas, Missouri, Vanderbilt, right? LSU, Auburn, Oklahoma. And we are 14th out of 16 teams at stopping the run. That's got to change. But we do have the number 1 passing defense, which sorry, if you guys can wait, let me see. I can make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Sorry about that. But again, I mean, number 1 passing defense, but I would argue that if you look at it, we hadn't really. I mean, Florida State, I don't think they really threw too much on us, right? They really just were running the ball majority of the time. ULM was ULM. Wisconsin, you're playing a backup quarterback, and they were really bad offensively. Then Georgia, I mean, they definitely tried to they tried to throw the ball. But obviously, again, they really, were running the football. So that's why I say be careful looking at stats. I mean, I definitely think we've done pretty solid against, obviously defending the pass, but you got to think of all the factors there. And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday. It's the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Support Experts. All right, so I want to get to head coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference from yesterday since we missed it. And I want to make sure we at least cover part of it. Now, I know it's too long to hit right here, so maybe we'll just play part of it now. So let's do this. Let me jump ahead because I know initially he kind of mentioned Georgia, which obviously we've discussed that at length. So maybe I'll start it. Here we go. We'll just start it right here. Here's head coach Kalen DeBoer from yesterday. We'll get to what we can before we hit this top of the hour break. Then we'll keep on rolling. So here we go.
To really understand that piece as far as that I'm counting on them and understand they're counting on me too. And so a lot of young guys continue to get more and more experience, both sides of the ball, playing a number of true freshmen, and their experience is, I think, from week 1 to now through 4 games, really showing up, and we're going to continue to need those guys and some redshirt freshmen as well that playing a lot of, really important towards our success. So appreciate the fans that went over there to Athens and supported us, and obviously coming back home to Bryant-Denny, place that it's just a great vibe, and we're going to need everything they got against a very good Vanderbilt team here coming up on Saturday. So Coach Lee, a ton of respect for him. I've known him for a long time. I knew a year ago you could see and feel the positive movement that they had inside the program. You could see the style of play, it being team football. And they continue to do that. So 5-0 ranked opponent coming into our house. So just got to continue to keep the focus on us, keep, ignoring the noise. That's been a huge, I think, strength that's become of our football team, and they got to continue to do that. Some guys, continue to learn, what it takes to come each and every week to play football here in the SEC.
Let's start with Chase on the far left.
Yeah, there's a perception that the win over Georgia last year created some overconfidence, and it resulted in the team not taking Vanderbilt seriously enough just 7 days later. Is that fair? And if not, how do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue against that. You got to handle success, and you got to come back every single week in this league. And I've talked to, every coach I talk to at midfield, that's what the conversation's about is, here you go again. And you got to reload mentally, physically, emotionally to during the week, get prepared at the highest level you possibly can, and go play ball. Physically, it's going to be a battle. And mentally, you got to be ready to respond. And so, we didn't handle success, however you want to put it, last year well. You can't argue that. I also think that they did a nice job executing in critical times and made plays. And so, no different this week, right? We and our success that we had on Saturday, none of it matters. None of it carries over. The third down stops, the third down execution on offense, it doesn't matter. Points don't carry over. Every game's its own game. There's new matchups that are going to be presented in this game that were different than last week. And so, just like I talk about every play being its own play, this game is its own game.
To the right side, Charlie.
Yeah, Coach, after the game on Saturday, you talked about how you got to continue to get better in the run game. Just what does that look like? How do you accomplish that?
Yeah, I think, I feel like it is taking steps, and I think it's on both sides of the ball, just better execution. Guys understanding the job, but just keep executing. And I think there were some times where we were closer, but you didn't see it necessarily lead to these eye-popping numbers or these explosive plays. But I think there were times when, especially at the end of the game, third quarter were 4 and 5 yard runs, and at the end of the game, the last drive on first down, getting 7 yards when that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a run play, and then getting a first down and then doing it again and getting 5 on the next set of downs. Those are important and hard yards. And so, the execution just from the beginning, we want to continue to keep better. It starts with the mindset. That's what it's going to take every single week. And so just to practice, reps is what it's all about.
So I just want to pause and hit a quick note on that, because like you talked about, and this was what I was saying yesterday, the running game, wasn't really effective majority of the game, but when it came down to that 4-minute offense, which I said is why you need to have a solid running game for those big moments, right? When, like he said, defense, everybody knows it's a run play. Those are hard yards. Well, we found a way to pick up yards then. So we got to find a way to duplicate that throughout the rest of the game. You were able to pick up 7 and 5 in critical moments when they know they're selling out against the run. How was that? But then it's like first, second quarter, when you're about as balanced as can be, right? And they're not selling out, so to speak, it's not there. So that, like you said, a mentality, the execution. So I just wanted to pause and hit on that, because I know we had a question. Is it the running backs? Is it the offensive line? It's not the backs, man. The backs have been solid. Especially Kevin Riley being a big surprise, and Jam being back will be big. But up front, man, just got to find a way to execute and have that mentality, not only when you have to have it, but throughout the whole game. Every running play should be no different. You should have that same mentality as if it's games on the line. We got to go dominate our box, dominate the guy in front of us, and move the football.
Go to Katie on the left.
Sorry, I just got distracted because I was writing something down. What do you think you haven't turned it over through the first 4 games, just what do you think has led to the success in ball security, just overall on offense?
Being intentional, repetitions in ball security circuit that we do every single day. Showing our players, we showed clips during the bye week of other teams losing games and moments where, just a little bit of the elbow not being tight enough to the rib cage, or, even a player having it high and tight, but it just not being tight enough, locking the wrist, and, technically doing the things just on such a high level all the time. And, being real truthful and showing times in practice or showing times in games, where there's a time or two where those fundamental things aren't done perfect. So it's being intentional. It's being intentional on running to the ball defensively to cause those turnovers too. And so it's effort, it's fundamental. And I think our guys are really understanding that you win and lose games because of those things. And it's one of those things that was one of our 3 keys to victory was winning the turnover margin. We did that.
Let's go to Nick on the front right.
Yeah, you also won the penalty battle, if you will, and that you had fewer penalties. What can be carried over from that performance in minimizing penalties moving forward?
Yeah, and to do it on the road in that environment, just proud of the guys, the way they continue to just stay the course. And I know they got it in them. I know that the want to is there. And so not living in the gray area, that's been a common theme for us going back to February when we really broke all the ways that things you needed to do to win. And when we worked on the category of penalties, focusing on where we fell short a year ago, focused on other teams and NFL teams, college teams, just making sure we covered all the scenarios. And it's, you're never going to cover all of them. New ones pop up all the time. And so just doing your best to really make sure the guys understand that you can't relax for one moment. You get on the boundary, you get on the sideline. You got to be smart. You got to figure out can I hit him or not? On the quarterback, just locked in on the cadence. And when there's noise, like we had on Saturday, guys did a nice job just focusing on, what we repped and locked in on doing their job.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and pause this press conference to hit this top hour break, but just piggybacking off that answer, obviously the best thing that this staff has done is reverting back to focusing on every little detail and being intentional about it. And because he's explaining that they've been doing that, and it's evident that it's been showing up, right? So really good stuff there. All right, we got to hit this top hour break. When we come back, we keep on rolling on this Talking Tuesday edition. Again, we'll keep trucking along with this. That way we can get to our little Vanderbilt early preview, taking a quick snapshot at those guys. And we'll do that on the other side of this break right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll be right back.
It's time to win some cash on Tide 100.9.
All right. Let's thank you guys for clicking the like button. Yeah, I appreciate you guys always pushing that for me. I don't do it enough, but I appreciate it. That always helps us out. Again, I know it's something small, but it just helps kind of push the algorithm, lets more people find our stuff. And yeah, man. If you guys haven't, man, just click it, man. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Money, what's up? My bad. I missed your comment earlier. What's going on, brother? Honestly, who in the SEC has a shutdown defense? I'm seeing the same with everyone. Well, we just went over some of that. I mean, there's definitely some good units for sure, bro. But I get what you're saying. I mean, maybe there's not too many out there that just really feel like those dominant defenses, but there's definitely some really good defenses for sure. College football has become independent contractors. Did y'all see that AJ McCarron clip? I'm gonna pull it up real quick. He had a great point, man. How guys just aren't afraid of the bench anymore. And he basically was just saying, like, look, no one really worries about the bench. They're just because they know they're getting paid. And to be fair, he's got a point. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up here now. Whoops, no, not that. Because it's like if you're in college and they're paying you all this money, I mean, at the end of the day, best guy will play. I'm not saying you can't get benched. I'm not saying he's 100% right with that, because you definitely can. But the reality is they're going to be real patient before they bench somebody they're paying all that money to, especially when you got boosters paying a lot of money to these guys. They want to see these players that they invested in play. All right, I think this is a video right here. Let me see. Wait, where's the Where's the video? That's the. Wait, is this it? No. Wait, where's the video?
It's not a fear of the bench. When you're getting paid, dudes aren't scared. Like, hell, they're paying me. They're going to play me. I'm not worried about the bench. Coach ain't going to sit me no matter what I do. Hell, I can go out and have 6 drops. Guess what? Starting lineup next week, I'm still going to be there. I dislocated my damn shoulder in the 4th start of my career. And I told Mike Williams, our tight end, I said, dude, I think I broke my collarbone. And I said, feel this. And he stuck his hand in my shoulder. He said, oh, shit, we got to tell somebody. I said, shut the fuck up. I said, we ain't telling anybody. That was the fear of the bench, though, because I had a 5-star number 1 rated quarterback out of high school, Philip Sims, right behind me. And I don't want an injury to put me out. Like, I want to fucking play. So I think we're missing that in college football.
Well, thank God I played it during the break. I didn't realize I didn't hear the whole thing. SEC would have shipped us a nice fat fine for all that. Wait, what did JM say in here? Oh, QD also okay. Let's see. Missouri really hadn't played anybody. I mean, sure, but at the same time, I mean, hell, we weren't playing anybody when we played ULM or Wisconsin. Oh, I guess Wisconsin was okay, but and I would argue that, I mean, we didn't look like that running the football. So, I mean, you still got to have a pretty good unit to rush for damn near 300 yards on average through 4 or 5 games, however many they played. But obviously, you know, it'll be a different test when they play us, or you would hope, but maybe not, because we don't rank too well in that department. So I guess we'll find out. But first, we got to take care of business. Compared to when you played, do you think the defensive play has gotten softer? Yes.
Miller's Edge with New York Giants legend and South Carolina Hall of Fame.
If you're talking about like our defense the last couple of years, yes. If you're saying it's in general, I mean, I see some other defense that look pretty damn good, but yeah.
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide.
Vandy hasn't played anybody. Fair, but
WTBC.
again, this is a really good football team still. I mean, when I say really good, they're a good football team that you need to respect. And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday. This is the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Let's jump back into hearing from head coach Kalen DeBoer as he previews this Vanderbilt matchup. So here we go.
Hey, Coach, can we get an update on Quay and Jamarian?
Yeah, Quay. So Quay, he has a broken foot and surgery and everything, and so he won't be out for the season, but he'll be an extended amount of time here. And then Jamarian, just with everything, you know, he'll be out for the season, and so that's unfortunate. Just love both of those guys, but you know, Zebo, as we refer to him, you know, Jamarian's just. You know, he's going to have a healthy recovery. He'll recover fully. And so that's the main thing in the big picture of everything. But, you know, unfortunately, we won't have him back this season.
Hey, Kalen. It seems like Ryan Williams over the course of the last few games, whether it's with, you know, drop passes or got a little flack about blocking ability against Georgia, has gotten some criticism. I'm curious about what you've seen from him, how he's handled that criticism, while also what your message to him has been over the course of the last few games to kind of overcome.
Yeah. I mean, he knows he's just got to keep progressing, keep developing, keep working. And so what I know I see on the football field in practice every single day is a guy that is working hard at it. And so we know how skilled he is, how big of a threat he is anytime he's on the field. And, you know, I thought he responded well. Had some nice catches and third down conversions, had a ball late in the half there that was an explosive that helped us cross midfield and put points on the board. So I thought his response was really good, and he stayed focused. And I think really what he's locked in on is the team, you know. And again, he's not going to be perfect, just like any other guy. And we expect a lot out of him, and we've built that up for him, and he certainly wants that, you know. But you know, he's just got to keep taking the steps, keep getting better, and he will. He just you know, keep working through it. But he's a his desire to go out there and be a team player, block. I mean, it's the want-to factors there. So just got to keep working on the fundamental things, and he'll do it.
Coach, how do you think that Tim Keenan played in his return? And secondly, Vanderbilt has a lot of graduates, a lot of redshirt seniors, juniors on their offensive line. Florida State did as well. What do you think you can take from the Florida State experience with the young defensive lineman? You're going to be missing James for the first half of the game into this weekend's game.
Yeah, that's something we'll talk more and more about with the team as we go through the week, starting tomorrow with James. Because we do have to cover for him early. And when he comes in, he needs to be locked in on what's been happening, so it isn't him feeling out the process when he gets into the game. But Tim, just as the week went on, I think early in the week he was a little sore and things like that. But when he got to game day, just really, I thought he played well. He was an important part of our success, and just a big hammer up in there, just holding down gaps and keeping the movement to be very minimal. So he played, in our grading, he played a nice game all around. And so I don't know if I had a true number of snaps I was expecting to play, but I know he didn't play less than what I thought. If anything, he played more. And so we certainly do need to rise to the occasion. As your second question, just we got to rise to the occasion and keep asking more out of our young guys against a veteran group, like you said. And I think we're doing that. I think guys are straining in practice. I've been on the young guys as much as anything, not just at that position, but across the board, for them to understand, the urgency that they got to have just in meetings and on the field, the strain that it takes. And then now they're seeing, I think you get into game day in these big games, the SEC games, and, they're getting it. They're figuring it out.
Hey, Coach, the scene is set just like last year after Georgia. You've got Vandy. How do you guard against an emotional letdown after this season after such a huge win in Athens? And also, are you going to be wearing a black hoodie on Saturday?
I think that part's, I think we all know that you don't win because of that, and you don't lose because of that. But I get it. I think, for us, you got to learn from what you've been through, right? And so the handling of success last year, and then what had happened for the different reasons it happened, and then where we're at now, and the opportunity that we have in front of us and what we've gone through. You take your past experiences and you have to just keep learning, and you got to keep understanding how we got our feet somewhat underneath of us, okay, and have a little bit of momentum. Okay, and it's just really, again, being intentional. I've referred to that in different ways here. Moving with purpose, that's a common theme right now, and just the energy and the edge that our guys have played with the last 3 games. We cannot lose sight of how important that's been, and we know every team that comes into our place, every team we play, is getting amped up and excited to play Alabama. And we've got to take on that challenge, not just on Saturdays, but, Sunday through Friday, and be ready to go.
Back right, Jonathan.
Hey, Coach, the response to the adversity your team faced on Saturday just appeared to be night and day compared to some of the recent road games. What do you think the biggest difference was?
Having gone through it and just continuing to not make it bigger than it is, keep it simple, but having gone through it and talking through it, and just staying positive. I guess on the sideline, the best way I can explain it is I didn't ever feel when one side of the ball or the other was struggling, or couldn't finish a drive offensively, or, had a letdown defensively, and, you're frustrated because of an explosive run or something. I felt like it was all about the next play. I felt like it was all about, man, I want to get back on the football field, and I know we can do this, and I'm going to just keep locked in on my job. And then each side of the ball, trusting the other one, is going to just give it everything they have and leave it on the football field. And, walking out of there, I don't think we were going to have any regrets on anything, because they were going to leave it out there. And so that's all I can ask of them, is just to give 100% effort. And, when 99 out of 100 isn't good enough. It's got to be 100 out of 100, because that's something you can control. And so, we've been pointing those things out whenever we fall just a little bit short. It's not okay that you gave 100% on all these plays in practice, and this one play, woulda, coulda, should. That's the one that's going to hurt you. It's the one that's going to kill you. So, just proud of the way the guys have responded, and I think the game certainly showed that. It felt that on the sideline. We had less guys travel. We have less staff on the sideline, and so it was about those 74 players. It's about the coaching staff, and it was these guys kind of adopted an us against the world mentality.
We got two more questions left. We'll go to Alex first, and we'll finish with Matt.
Speaking of responses, what did you see from Connor after that missed field goal, and how would you just sort of assess the special teams plays through 4 games?
Yeah, I think that kick in particular, I think we got to have better execution all the way from the snap to the hold to the kick. All 3 of them could do a little bit better and cover for each other. The kicker obviously can recover and help make it better, and it wasn't that much error on the other guys to where he couldn't make up for it. But they all 3 with that execution, I think, can do a better job. He's been solid. I think, again, as a special teams whole. I think the real slip up was against Wisconsin with a couple of things with the kickoff. And again, we put ourselves in that spot to where we had to kick from our own 20 and cover a lot more space. I was really pleased with the way we controlled their return game with Branch being a threat, both in the punt return and the kickoff returns, and so we had a squib opportunity. We pinned them deep at the end of the first half, didn't let up in any way to give them any life there to feel like they could go down and even get 3 points on the board. Kicking off, after we, held them deep on the first one that they tried to return. Really, they just were all about, taking the ball to 25, fair catching it. And so, I think we're doing a solid job. There are so many young guys on our special teams units, and everyone, I'm not afraid to put it out there because I think they're executing at a high level. I mean, Latsier Brooks, you watch him run down there on kickoff, you see him on offense, but you see him doing his things there. Dijon Lee and all those guys. I mean, they're seeing their opportunities, to go out there and play at a high level and put some good film on film out there for people to see.
Matt wanted to clarify.
Yeah, on Jamarian, is there a chance he goes and tries to get a medical red shirt, or is he just completely done playing?
Yeah, we haven't gotten on that road yet. Really haven't seen him in person, just communicating. I know he's back here around the facility here now too, here finally at the beginning of the week. So, but yeah, we haven't gone down that road yet. So don't have an answer for you there.
All right, so that'll do it for head coach Kalen DeBoer from his weekly press conference. So wanted to get that in there because we ran out of time yesterday. But that being said, we're going to hit our timeout to stay on schedule. Perfect timing, 12:15. And when we come back, we'll go back to you guys, plus continue previewing Vanderbilt, talking a little bit about this matchup, early preview. Then again, as the week goes on, we'll get more and more in-depth in terms of what to expect and all that. But again, check us out on YouTube. If you haven't already, at the Miller's Edge, you got plenty of people in the chat interacting and good conversations going on as well. So that being said, a quick timeout. We keep on rolling. We come back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
The Tide.
I just put this up here for money real quick. I understand we have different packages on defense. Can you give an example of a good run support package for Womack's defense? I'm just throwing this up here because, again, this is an example of us being in a 3-4 personnel on defense. And so, obviously, we're matching them being in 12 personnel, right? So, stuff like this, gives you a better chance. You just see Quay was walked out here because they're in the slot formation, right? But that's Jamarian Latham. So ironically, the other reason I put this up here is these two starting outside backers are now out. So you've got Yanze Pierre, then true freshman Justin Hill getting in there. So it's going to be interesting. And the reason other reason I pulled this up is because Vanderbilt, you'll see them. There's going to be times they're in 12 personnel and a lot of those option type looks. I'm not saying their offense is exactly like Florida State's, but they share some similarities in terms of personnel and philosophies, things that they get to, so to speak, just in terms of option-based attack, some RPO game, etc. So that's what kind of makes it a little interesting when you think about it, because you're like, all right, you're about to play a team that We'll run a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of option type stuff. You know, this 3-4 defense is actually a good defense to be in. Well, your top two backers that you need in the game, outside backers, are now out. And so, I mean, look, Justin Hill came in and it was him and Yanze, and we still were running some some personnel groupings with two outside backers in there, and they seem to hold their own against Georgia. So I imagine that they feel confident going into this Vanderbilt game. But thinking about a true freshman and Justin Hill having to be tasked to see a lot of different stuff out of that Vanderbilt offense, I mean, that definitely makes you go, it's probably not ideal. So, I mean, do they stick with a little more nickel, knowing their situation at outside linebacker? I'm not 100% sure their game plan. I haven't been up to practice this week. But we'll see. I know it just depends. I mean, what the coordinator wants to do. Does he feel comfortable enough with the true freshman to put him out there in these 3-4, looks on defense? Probably. They did against Georgia, but maybe you look at it and say, we'll probably stick to a little more nickel this game. But if you do that, you just got to make sure that whoever's playing Husky, because really, guys, the only difference between a 3-4 defense and whether it's a 4-3, even like 4-2-5 stuff, is just the personnel you're replacing, right? So really, if you were to just swap, the way it works, you just swap the Sam, which they don't call him the Sam. I think it's Wolf, and then I don't know what they're calling in this look actually. But for us, typically you got a Sam and a Will, or a Sam and a Jack, right? So you just swap the Sam with the nickel corner, and then there you go. You go from a 3-4 to a 4-2-5. That's really all it is. But setting the edge, I saw somebody say something about if we could set the edge better, have better run fits, you wouldn't have an issue with the defense. I think that would solve a lot. I think people heard from Kane that he was saying like they had those runs that bounced to the outside and went for 171. But the two clips I showed you yesterday, those didn't bounce to the outside. Those hit on the inside and both went for about 30 apiece respectively. So setting the edge is definitely a huge thing. And I think I forgot what clip it was. Somebody posted something, but I'll be honest. It's a combination, right? It's a combination of run fits, guys being out of position, not holding their positions, right? Or only just doing their job and just sitting there and not getting off a block. I mean, it's a number of things when you turn on the tape. And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday. It's the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Let's all right, because we got player interviews from today, but it's a Talking Tuesday, and I know you guys want to talk. We got plenty of people on the phone lines, so let's do that. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got Smitty up next. 205-342-9904 is number.
Hey, what's going on, Christian?
What's up, Smitty?
Man, another day, another dollar. Man, about that game Saturday, I told you guys we were going to win. I was off for the score a little bit. But I think when it came to the run defense, I think Georgia knew they had a target. It's kind of like how the comics picked on the one guy in the crowd with the funny shirt. They knew the money. They picked on the money Jackson and run defense. And looked like he was soft, not setting the edge, because you set the edge, you force them back inside to your help. You lose the edge, you have no help, And I think they kept going at him. It's kind of like in the NBA. If they put me up my 5'10" stuff in the color Jokic, guess where the ball is going? Jokic,
Yeah.
But I think a lot, even on like Saturday, I'll tell my dad, Kane Womack has a know your personnel problem. One, we're running out of bodies. Gunner Stockton is not Dante Moore. Don't make it easy for him with a zero blitz. If he goes 10 plays and beats you with his arm, you shake his hand. But when you give him that easy play, anybody can hit that, because like y'all said, the money had no help. It was a double move on a blitz. And I saw Mo Linguist be upset about that, because Kane left his group out to dry. And I think with the run defense, a 3-man front ain't gonna cut it in mugging people because these teams know you're going to back out of it anyway. You know, in football, these people know what you're going to do by the way you twiddle your thumbs, on the field. And they know you're not going to send people. So they already know you're going to mug out. Then you mugging out. Then you run and you stuck. And I'll say this. We gave Georgia 2 touchdowns, not just that one crazy blitz that he called, but on 4th down, they stopped Georgia and Xavier Brown had defensive holding. And it's unfair to ask that defense to stop Georgia at the 1 or 2 yard line 8 times. It's hard, Yeah. And I think stuff like that will lose you a game. But I think about offense real quick. They did a good job controlling the game on offense because it's not about calling plays. It's about running in offense. And when they kept losing bodies, if you go hurry up or go real fast pace, what if you don't get the first down? Now your defense is back on the field. And it impressed me with Ty Simpson, with how he was making checks on the line, getting in and out of the plays. And he was cool, calm, and collected, but he didn't even when the offense bogged down in the second half, he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't take sacks when there was pressure. He got out of there, made a quick decision. And I think those are things where a quarterback helped the offensive line out. And I really think that he played a good game. And if he didn't play a good game, we would have lost that game.
Yeah, I'll say this. It was kind of a tale of two halves, right? So first half, the offense really, led the charge. And then second half, the defense stepped up big, which I thought was really impressive. You talk about Quay Russo going down. I mean, that's a big injury. James Smith ends up getting taken out, and guys kept finding ways to make an impact, especially when they needed it most. And shout out to LT Overton, just completely, being dominant up front. Tim Keenan coming back and making an impact, helping out. And Bray Hubbard looking good. But yeah, I think it's a number of things. But I do want to say the turnovers or lack of on offense is crucial. I think that's been one of the most impressive things. The fact that we've been so clean with the football, man. Turnover battle is huge, and the fact that we're able to protect it, and it's not like we're just playing it safe, running. I know we're throwing the ball and Ty squeezing it in windows. I mean, there's that one that probably should have been picked off, but it wasn't. But still, I mean, he's been exceptional. But yeah, look in terms of guys like Damani and whatnot. I mean, with him, he just got to be more aggressive and just take angles that are better. I think. Like you said, the one in the pass defense, or excuse me, the where he got beat on that double move. I mean, that was a tough spot, like we discussed. Yep. I mean, it's cover zero, and you get hit with the double move. You're expecting the ball to come out hot because you're bringing 6-7 guys, off the line of scrimmage. Normally, the quarterback has to just get rid of it quick. So when you see that receiver slow down, you're expecting that ball to be out. So to be fair, that's a really tough spot to be in. But in terms of him on the outside or providing that run support, man, he's too patient. He's taking bad angles. You got to fire your gun. You got to go and attack and be aggressive. And to be fair, there's a lot of corners that shy away from a lot of stuff. Now, there's times that he plays physical, and there's other times where he comes off like he's shying away from contact. And I think he just got to find a way to just really go after. But I know they have, worked DJ Lee at that corner spot as well. They've rotated him in his spot. So, I mean, the way it works is, if he doesn't start getting it together, I can fully see them start giving DJ Lee some more opportunities. But I think they'll figure that part out. The more important thing for me is up front, especially in this game. And you just mentioned losing bodies. You're out James Smith in the first half. You only have Yonze Pierce, the only outside backer that really has been playing. Justin Hill hadn't played really until he had to, which was last week. And then I got on the screen here on the stream talking about Vanderbilt, and I was showing the Florida State tape because somebody asked about what's a good, defensive play. Well, again, it's all about matching personnel. We didn't do it a whole bunch in last year's Vanderbilt game, but Kane Womack finally has addressed this, that we need to go to more 3-4 defensive looks at at appropriate times to match personnel. We've seen that a whole bunch now. Much more this year than last year. Well, the problem is now Jamarian Latham, who is a physical guy that moved to Wolf, helped set an edge. He's out for the year. Quay Russo's out a lot of time. And I got on here, you see Vanderbilt, they're in, whether you want to call it 21, because it's technically a guy in the backfield, or 12. It's probably just an H-back or tight end, other tight end, whatever. you would expect to be running a lot more of these defenses, but now you don't have as many bodies. So it's going to be interesting how they find a way to counter some of that stuff, but we'll have to see. But at the end of the day, they got to find a way to stop the run, and not just in this game, but moving forward, man.
Yeah, I'll say this real quick. I just said last week that this was a money game for Cade Proctor, and he showed up.
Oh, yeah. And Formby. Hey, you got to give. I think Formby was like the highest graded pass blocking offensive lineman. So look, I got to give him his flowers, because I know a lot of people have been critical of him. And look, to be fair, he's not played great football up to this point until last game, but he played really well, and really the whole offensive line outside. I think Vandermark gave up a pressure and a penalty, but other than that, those guys are clean. And think about it, dude, we played Sanders. He was playing. He got like 20-something snaps. Vandermark, Jaden Roberts got a few snaps. Michael Carroll got snaps. Hell, we even saw the other true freshman left tackle get in there at one point. What's his name? The guy from California, Jackson Lloyd. Yeah. So, you got to tip the hat to the whole unit, bro. But yeah, Caden Proctor, finally, he played how we thought he should be playing. So hopefully they can build off of that.
Yeah, and I'll say this before I run, and thanks for taking my call as always.
For sure.
If you notice, when Saban Brown had a defensive holder, he took a seat next to the coach. Ryan Williams was missing block. He took a seat next to the coach. And I think that wasn't broadcasted. You just like look up and oh man, they sitting down. Because that stuff's critical, because we don't have the margin of error for that type of stuff, especially today's college football when you don't have any depth. No one really does. And I still think of the BS rule with targeting where you sit somebody out for a half of the next game. But the guy who went in did an Uso splash targeting and then get called for targeting. I didn't get called for targeting, but you know what I mean.
Uso splash.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm like, how did he not get called for targeting? But James Smith making a tackle, or that's targeting. That just boggles my mind. But I think with Vanderbilt, right? I just think that with those people, you just have to, like Bill Belichick says, do your job. Don't try to be a hero. Because you're going to be on Sports Center doing your job, or you're going to be on Sports Center looking like a fool. Which one do you want? Because if they beat you going down the field, then you do your job, you shake their hand. But if you're out of place, and mind you, we got seniors at middle linebacker, they don't have eye discipline. It's like, that's a problem, in my opinion. You've been in school way too long for that. You've been in school since Joe Biden was an first ran. And you still can't handle eye discipline. I understand that was Justin Hill, a young guy. And I like his snaps too, but I just think you have to do your job. And I don't care if you win by 1 or you 20. It's just about winning the game. And you don't want these guys showing you up on your field. You already made the guy famous last year. You don't want to. And like I forgot to say this. The thing I think will help them out this year, because Vanderbilt did not run a hurry-up offense last year. They just possessed the ball. The way they run offense now, it's not a feast of famine offense, because Todd Simpson is more of that guy who can move the chains. And I'm not knocking Milroe on this, because everybody has different games. Yeah. Because every quarterback's not the same. But he was a feast of famine. He'll get that. He's that guy who walks around 50s and 100s in his pocket. There ain't no 10s in his pocket. Ty, he might, like last week against Georgia, you had to control that game with the way they run the ball. You run out of bodies. And I think that might help them with that style of offense. I'm not knocking the guy. I'm just pointing out they're too different, and he may be able to do two different things. That may help him out. But hey, you have a good one, Christian.
That's fair. Appreciate you, Smitty. Yes, sir. You too, man. Good deal. Good stuff as always. All right, let's hit this timeout to stay on schedule. When we come back, we keep on rolling right here on this Talking Tuesday, just in the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Quick timeout. Be right back.
Your flagship home of Alabama sports.
Yeah, that's like Smitty was saying, man. Lack of bodies, especially that outside backer spot, man. That definitely will be something to pay attention to 100%. Because as you guys see, man, I mean, they're going to line up in a bunch of stuff like this where you need to be in those 3-4 looks, right? Which here, I mean, it's RPO action, hitting that slant window. And that's why I said earlier, in terms of like the linebacker play, it's tough for these guys. And it's a prime example. I'm glad this play is here. why you don't want these guys mugged up unless you tell them mugged up, and as soon as they, I mean, maybe it could end up resulting in a turnover because if they're mugged up initially and he might think he has that window and they pop out and pick it off, maybe it works out that way. But I could see it being the opposite and you just getting hit right behind you, right? Because that's exactly what's going to happen when you don't have anybody in those windows. Granted, their first step is backwards, so we'll see. But if they're going first step back and they're registering this where they got to respect that option, that run right there, and then try to get back, I mean, to me, that's like, that'd be a whole circus. But this is what makes this offense tough to defend, though, right? I mean, there's just so many different things that they can get to. Right here, they're operating out of the gun, but it's 12 personnel, right? You see the YY wing look down here to the boundary slot. So, I mean, you could probably get away with nickel in this maybe, but still, I mean, when you're in nickel, though, again, you're not as big bodied up front, man, and they're going to run the ball. I mean, they're what 18th nationally for running the football, so be interesting, man. Justin Hill's going to have to grow up quick because this is a tough offense to be. I'd imagine technically he's going to be listed as a starter unless they do something like they did last year a little bit where what game was it? Oklahoma where somebody went – no, I think they ended up moving Zebo out there. So I was going to say unless they try to keep – I'm trying to think of personnel-wise because at the Wolf spot you got – let's see. You got Yanze Pierre, Justin Hill. Then behind them you've got Noah Carter. Damn, is there anybody else in that row? Am I missing somebody? I'll be honest with you. Damn, do we have anybody else? Is it just those three? Nah, I got to be forgetting somebody. Who am I missing? Do we only have 3 Wolves left right now? No, there's another guy other than Noah Carter. Can we bring somebody else in? Nah, that's it. Justin Hill. You got Yanze Pierre, Justin Hill, Noah Carter. That's 3. Is there another, like, isn't there? Damn. Dang, so it is only those 3. I ain't gonna lie to you. See, they got to hold it down for a minute, bro. So both Noah Carter and Justin Hill got to step up. Henry was moved inside. Wait, who's Henry?
That's Babbledoc.
Wait, Henry. Am I drawing a blank? Who's Henry? Anyway, yeah, they're going to – oh, Kelby, nah, he plays Bandit. But I was going to say maybe you could see – maybe they could take Keon Keeley. He plays Bandit. Or like somebody like that or like Jordan Renaud and move him outside. I wouldn't be shocked if they do something like that. Oh, yeah. Come on, Tim. And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Support Experts. Quick reminder, not even a reminder, this is something new. I always tell you about our friends over at R&R Cigars. Make sure you guys check them out. But I'll just show you this off my phone, man. Here's a sneak peek. Hopefully I'm good to show you this, guys. But you got your special edition victory cigars for that Tennessee game coming up, man. You see the football on there again. Or maybe I should wait. I think you guys are familiar with this, and hopefully I'm not breaking anything. I'm not supposed to. Like news, I mean. But if you want one of those, screw it, man. We'll leak it. But anyways, if you want one of those, they're sick, man. It's got the football in there, and it's custom for this Tennessee game. Make sure you go to rnrcigars.com, but use code Miller's Edge because you'll get 20% off. Now, I know that game is, a little bit down the road, but trust me, go ahead and get them early because those things, they're limited. They can sell out quick. Everybody wants those for that Tennessee game, especially this one, right? It's going to be another revenge game. Make sure you guys get them early. rnrcigars.com, code Miller's Edge, 20% off. Again, that's that custom Tennessee edition victory cigar that the players also will be smoking. So if you guys want to have that, make sure you guys get it from there. rnrcigars.com, code Miller's Edge. All right. That being said, quick little I guess, talking point real quick before we go back to the phone lines again. We're talking about Vanderbilt. We're talking about some of these matchups in this game. Again, Vanderbilt, option-based attack. We know they're led by Diego Pavia. Again, Coach Lee has done a really nice job with this football team. But looking at their offense, you know what you're going to get out of these guys, right? They're going to use some option elements, RPO elements. They also get in the gun and throw the football. But it's really tough to defend because there's so many things that you've got to be able to defend as a defense, right? You got to play disciplined football. Understand that you've got to respect your assignment. If you're a dive player, quarterback player, you can't be getting, having your eyes in other places. You got to lock in and do your job in these games. And then we also were looking on the stream. You can see I'm pulling up different looks from Vanderbilt. But in terms of personnel groupings, they run a lot of 12 personnel. Again, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. What does that mean? Well, you typically match that with more of a true base defense, whether it's a 3-4 or 4-3. You need bigger guys out there, right? So you can set a physical edge. That way you're not requiring the nickel corner to be on one side trying to set an edge, right? It just helps you out. So that being said, the issue is we only got 3 Wolves right now that are healthy. Zebo, Jamarian Latham, he's out for the year. Quay Rousseau just underwent surgery on his foot. He's out for an extended period of time. And so now you've got Yanze Pierre and then a true freshman, Justin Hill, stepping up, and then Noah Carter, a redshirt freshman, who's probably going to have to be relied on to rotate in there some as well. I wouldn't be shocked if you see some movement, right? Maybe one of the bandits, whether a guy like Keon Keeley or Jordan Renaud, who are pretty athletic, maybe they get moved over, take some reps on that side, and only for like certain situations, maybe, just so you can have more of a physical presence, right? Because in this game, this team wants to run the football. I believe they're 18th nationally in their rushing offense, and you got to be physical up front, right? So we got to figure out that personnel-wise, defensively, but in terms of just stopping it, man. I mean, again, Diego Pavia, I know he's a running quarterback, but he can make the throws that you need him to make. He does a really good job with this offense, and we all know how last year it was quite the challenge. The shovel play, right? The option they're running, and even him taking the shots and throwing the football. It's a tough team to defend, right? So we're going to have our work cut out for us defensively. I'm not going to lie, and we'll definitely dive in more deeply, I guess, throughout the week in terms of how do we stop this offense and so forth. But then a quick little snapshot on the other side of the football, looking at their defense. They actually do a really good job stopping the run. They're one of the top teams in rushing defense. However, technically, we're not really doing so much of that anyways, or we're trying to. It's just not as effective as we would like. However, they are vulnerable in the secondary. They were like 70-something. Now they're about 55th in terms of passing defense. But if you turn on the tape, man, there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunities down the field, which obviously we've had a lot of success through the air. So I'll be completely honest with you. I mean, I definitely think it's a good matchup. I think they're going to present some challenges 100% for us defensively, but I just don't think defensively on their part they're going to be able to keep up with this high-powered offense that we've seen from Ryan Grubb and Ty Simpson and company. So I expect it to be one of those games. I mean, I could see it being – I'm definitely not going to say like a shootout, but I can see us putting up a number of points, then probably scoring some points themselves, but they just long-term, I guess, throughout the game, I just don't see them having the ability to keep up. Now, we all know last year there was nobody picking them, and they found a way, so we'll have to see. But they've got Johnny Football on their sideline, so we'll see, I guess, what he can help bring to the table. Obviously nothing, but anyway, that being said, again, just quick little snapshot, and I'll throw in a couple more things, but I want to make sure we have plenty of time for all our phone calls. 205-342-9904. We got Ellis up next. Ellis, welcome in. Ellis, you still there? Going once, twice. Sounds like somebody's there, but maybe not. All right, we'll keep on rolling for now. All right, we got Pat up next. Pat, welcome in.
Man, I hate we missed Ellis. Love Ellis's phone calls. But hey, what I'm questioning about, and you the man to tell us this answer. How are we going to be able to stop that triple option? We had fits with it last year, with only a 3-man front. I always thought that a 4-man front with outside linebackers worked a little better, maybe on that type of triple option versus but again, you got to maintain containment, and you got to maintain all your lane integrities and stuff with your linebackers and things. It's just crazy. What do you think?
Yeah, and that's why I was speaking on that outside backer spot with the lack of depth right now due to so many injuries. That does concern me. But you're right. I mean, I like playing 3-4 defense against these option.
You there? Hello? Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Coach, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Tough
here. I can't hear nobody else.
Okay.
Now
Okay, good deal. Sorry, I just wanted to. Okay, good deal. Sorry. Sorry. It kind of was acting funny for a second, but basically what I was saying was I always like having outside backers to defend the edges, especially with these option-based attacks. But the problem is with them, it's not like a traditional option attack. It's more so like there's added elements, right? Where they got RPOs out of it. They'll throw the football. I mean, the play that I just played here, they end up taking a shot, and is great play design. They've got technically 3 flat threats, and this always gives defenders a problem because you're trying to figure out who has who. Even I don't even think one of them is even eligible right here. But so you got to be able to defend a lot. The problem is we're lacking depth at that outside backer spot. So those young guys are really going to have to step up and grow up really quick because we're going to need them in this football game.
How many times did he throw a shovel pass out of that last year? It seemed like to me he threw a shovel pass 3 or 4 different times or more out of that setup. I mean, and it killed us each time he did it.
Yeah, I was about to say the shovel pass definitely got us a number of times, but it with the fact that it had so much success last year, I mean, if I would be completely shocked if there's no way they did not go over that in practice the whole week and be prepared for it. But it definitely, it crushed us last year. But that all comes down to discipline. Again, you got to have good eye discipline to understand. Like, I know my eyes, I'm seeing people cross my face and it looks like they're trying to hit the perimeter and do this or hand the ball off. But if my key tells me to close and squeeze, I close and squeeze. That's how you have success against these offenses, Pat, is you have to follow your keys and play assignment football. You can't get caught up with everything else you're seeing. Don't pay attention to that. Just do your job, and I promise you'll have much more success that way.
Well, Keon Keeley is going to have to put on his big boy pants and make a difference in this ball game in order for us to win. I think that he's got to step it up and be the player that he was supposed to be coming out of high school. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I mean, I know he's doing what he can, right? Trying to develop as fast as possible, try to be the best player possible. But I will say I do agree that there might be some more opportunities. I know he plays Bandit now. He's not at the Wolf spot, but wouldn't be shocked if they do try to move a body from over there just to add some extra depth. And maybe he's one of those guys. And maybe this is a chance for him to step up and make an impact with guys being down. So I would love that for him. I mean, coming out of high school, I mean, he's shown a lot. The only thing is he's put on some weight. He's like 270, or he was. So not exactly the same build that you expected him to be when he was playing more of that Wolf spot. But athletically, I think he would be all right. He kind of would be similar to Jamarian Latham in terms of athleticism. So I think he would be fine if you needed him to go on that side and handle some more responsibilities.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Well, I'm getting this Saturday thing here is shaping up to be a big time deal, and obviously game day seems to think so too.
Yeah,
so
we'll see.
Here.
Yeah,
And,
I hope it's a good one, man.
Yep. I just but I do believe this. No matter about that defense, I think Ty's going to put up 45 or better for us, and that it's going to all be okay. It may not be like we'd like, because I'd like to beat them down like a stepchild and hold them down under 20 points. But that might not happen. It may be that we got to beat them with Ty's arm. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Ty's going to have a big game.
I got confidence in Ty. All right. Hey, have a blessed afternoon, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pat. Good deal. All right, let's do this, Chase. Let's go ahead and hit our final timeout. When we come back, we wrap things up on this Talking Tuesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We'll be right back.
Coming up on the game.
All right. Oh, Chase, let me know if we get a chance to record one of those too. I can just do a quick one too. I mean, they should still have that stuff in there because we've done them before. We used to do them. So, I mean, if I can just hit a quick little continue breakdown, Vandy, Bama, blah, 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 that type of deal. Just let me know. Here you see quarterback draw, right? Spreading you out, getting the quarterback draw, trips formation. Boom. Running backs, lead blocker. Man, he's tripping on that one, though. I would have cut it out. Oh, no, I guess not. Sorry, guys. I got to skip through here so we don't get hit with these copyright rules. What we got? 2x2 pistol. Just handing it off up the middle. Wait, where did he come from? It's like a pin and pull, maybe. What the hell? Bro, why is he jumping from 5 yards away damn near? What the hell was he thinking? Goodness gracious, man, that was dumb. I had this. I was going to get to this. Here's Coach Saban talking about Vandy.
It's different. What are you concerns about Vanderbilt, the Vanderbilt game this weekend?
Yeah, I haven't watched Vanderbilt yet, but I have watched them on TV.
Here, I'll save it because I know we got a few minutes left. I'll save that if that's cool. I'll save that till we come back from radio real quick. And then we got one last call we'll squeeze in here as well. And tomorrow we'll end up there was player interviews after practice. We'll get to those tomorrow too. Let's see what we got in the chat real quick. See, y'all are naming all these other guys. The problem is they don't even play outside backer. It's crazy how many freshmen we play. At this point, you don't really have a choice. But the good news is, man, they've been holding their own, which is, it's a good sign. And hell, it's going to be good for their development, man. We had a bit of a bust with eye discipline when we got hit on the fake reverse, so hopefully we can improve in our eyes and gap discipline. Absolutely. Yeah, man. It's going to be important. My bold prediction, we'll run the ball way better. We'll run the ball way better this week because we will focus on the passing game more. Or they will, excuse me. That's what I was saying earlier. It almost probably end up being like an opposite effect where, people are so threatened by our passing attack that we might actually have some better opportunities to have success on the ground now, kind of working backwards. But, hey, whatever works, man, works. If we fall for another third down shovel pass. Mike, I think I would be – oh, yeah, if you guys haven't, man, just hit that like button real quick. That definitely help us out. But if we aren't going over the shovel pass, all week this week, I would be disappointed would be an understatement. There's just no way you don't prepare for that, given how it went last year. I haven't really watched enough of them to see if they've really been running it this year. But they'll probably at least try it, given how they had success last year. Oh, and Henry, the JUCO transfer that you guys were talking about, yeah, they moved him to Bandit too. I forgot. So that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of depth in that room, and you don't really have much at all in the Wolf spot. So I wouldn't be shocked because we've done this before, moving a guy from one of those spots just to add some extra depth. I could see that happening. And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC Talking Tuesday edition. Well, I guess we could probably save that. Nah, we got a couple minutes here. Coach Saban was at the quarterback club, and he got asked about Vanderbilt. So I'll let you guys hear his thoughts on this Vanderbilt team this year.
The Vanderbilt game this weekend.
Yeah, I haven't watched Vanderbilt yet, but I have watched them on TV. I think these guys are a really good football team. I think, Clark Lee has done a fabulous job, there. Obviously, Diego is a really good quarterback. They got a really good running back. But this is actually a little better team, in my opinion, just watching them. I'm talking about all the way around defensively and all that, than even what they had a year ago. So, the one thing I think, they're a ball control team. And, one of the big differences in Alabama's team that I see that could be a big benefit in this game is a year ago, there was a lot of 3 and outs and a lot of big plays. This year, they sustained the ball. So just like in a Georgia game, they kept the ball the time of possession, even though Georgia, seldom do you see the team with more rushing yards have less time of possession, which was the case in that game because they're good on third down. I hope we can continue to run the ball a little bit better and improve in that area. But keeping the ball away from the other team is still something that's really important to do when they have significant players on the other side and you keep giving them opportunities.
So that was Coach Saban speaking on this Vanderbilt football team. I know a lot of people keep kind of saying, oh, well, like Keith in the chat saying, well, how do we know they haven't played anybody? Well, they did play South Carolina. They look good there. And I know South Carolina, they are what they are right now. But still, I mean, it's like even Coach Saban said, I mean, saying they're not a good football team. I know you didn't say that, but they're a good football team. Now, time will tell as they play better opponents, but they definitely have a lot of players and things about them that you have to respect, and that's just a fact. But all right, let's get Ragged on here as we close things out. Ragged, you with us?
Well, yes.
What's
I
up,
thought I
Ragged?
would been on with you a little bit sooner. Okay. First of all, man. Okay. Outside callers. Callers are calling in. Outside looking in. It's easy to critique. Okay. My defensive coordinator is Kane, Kane, Womack. Wommack. It's not Womack. Okay? We are where we are because he is actually getting this put together. I have the utmost faith in this, and we are going to beat Vanderbilt here. This is our home. This is our turf. He will have it figured out. So all y'all that were calling in and worried about this and that and critiquing certain plays or calls or whatnot, you know what? Y'all relax. It's time to have faith and believe. He's getting paid for a job. And he's going to have it figured out.
Yeah, I mean, no, I definitely am all about paying respect 100%. You guys know how I am. But I think it's also fair to, I mean, if you have a critique where, we haven't showed up in certain spots, I mean, I think that's also fair. I think that's kind of part of it. And I'll be honest with you, Ragged. Giving up 200 yards plus on the ground in 2 occasions so far through 4 games, right? I mean, that's not good football, right? So we got to clean that up. And I think there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that.
Yes. I agree with you totally. But this is how we learn. We are number 10 right now, and we're getting better. This nation needs to be aware of the tide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always remind you guys, man, this show, again, other shows are welcome to do how they do, but on this show, our job is to analyze, right? Not be biased. We're not cheerleaders. Our job is to talk football based off of what the tape shows. So If the tape shows we're not playing the run well, that's how we're going to address it. So it's not that we don't have faith. Again, I'm a former player. I want us to be number one in every category, Ragged. But the fact is, if we're not playing good football against the run, I got to address that. I got to talk about it because that's what this is about on here. Rag, we appreciate you as always, brother. Good deal. All right, I guess he don't like that. Look, here's the thing, guys. Just real quick, just a reminder, man. Our job is about breaking down football. It's not about, holding pom-poms and stuff and pumping sunshine just for, S's and giggles, brother. we talk ball, man, as former players is what we do. So, all right, that being said, we got to get out of here. Appreciate everybody. Chase behind the glass doing his thing. All our listeners, Tide 100.9, YouTube, Facebook. Appreciate you guys, as always, for joining us on this Talking Tuesday. Looking forward to doing it again tomorrow with you right here on the Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. We'll see you guys then.